Hey guys, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan again, and today we're back on top of the roof of an RV talking about RV roof sealants. When do you use them? How do you use them? How often? Where? Etc. There's different things like, which one of these bottles are you supposed to use? And there's lots of different brands you can use here. But like even right here, you read this and they both say, well, lap sealant. Like if you call an RV shop, you say, what kind of sealant do I use on the roof of my camper? They're gonna say lap sealant. So great, you grab one of these tubes. But did you grab the right tube? That's kind of one of the other things we want to talk about. There's two different types of things here, and there's multiple different brands, but there is self-leveling and then like non-sag. They do a little different things. They do the same thing, but they do it in a different way, and they're kind of each better in a little bit different areas. So let's look at where each of them is a little bit better. All right, so first, the self-leveling stuff. The reason this is called self-leveling is because it will ooze out. Like the best way I can describe it is if you put down a drop of it about the size of a nickel, it will end up about the size and thickness of a quarter. It flattens itself out over time. You want to use that around big fixtures on your roof line. You want to use that around like skylights in this right here. But when do you use it? That's one of the other key questions. The answer here is like when we've already talked about doing your roof cleaning and whatnot. Now that roof material conditioner cleanser has a UV inhibitor that will help extend the lifespan of these things just organically, because you're gonna wash some of that UV inhibitor stuff right on here just like you are here, just by default, because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna go around it super careful. No one is. Now, if you look at this, if you have a brand new RV, chances are you're not gonna have to worry about it very quickly. But if you look at this and you start to see like a hairline, or if you start to see like a spot that looks questionable, you're gonna take this stuff and you're gonna just kind of go over it, touch up. Remember, a little of this stuff goes a long way, because again, it does flatten out and self-level. Now, if you look at this and you touch it and it leaves that nasty white chalkiness on your finger, or if you touch it and it starts to crumble, well, we gotta get this replaced. So how do you do that? Well, amazingly, there's no real easy answer for that. There's no real easy answer for how you remove all this old garbage and put down the new stuff. By default, think of it, by default, this stuff is not intended to come off easily. That's what keeps the water from getting into your RV. So whether it's a plastic butter knife or what it is, or a putty knife or something like that, there is no easy way to go about this. And to give you an idea, if you're talking a whole RV, peel and seal, removing all the old crap and putting down all new stuff, on a 30-foot trailer, you could be 8 to 10 hours, depending on how many skylights, how many air conditioners, how many big fixtures are up top. And that's from a trained professional, guys. So this is kind of one of those, if you're looking for a quick little spot check area, I think this is an easy do-it-yourself at home thing. If what you're looking for is, I'm gonna be a DIY pro and I'm gonna remove and peel all this stuff myself, unless you are looking for a project, just pay somebody to do it for you. And it ain't gonna be cheap, but it's gonna be a lot cheaper than buying a whole new camper. So you gotta consider that too. But what's nice is this same material, this stuff right here, whether you're doing a little spot or a whole new bead, it does the same thing. Now what you wanna do with this, there's little size markers on these tubes, by the way. Anyone familiar with various caulking stuff, it's all, the guns are all basically the same. You're gonna put actually a pretty thin bead around this thing. You don't need to put a big giant glop of it down there, because remember, this was not this wide when it was applied at the factory. It was actually probably only about that wide right here, and it became that wide once it was done. So again, if you're just doing a little spot hairline, then go ahead and just put a little bead right on top of it. But if you touch it and it gets brittle and chalky and old and crappy, that is when you want to totally remove the old stuff and then put on a whole bunch of brand new stuff. But the other one right here, the one that's non-sag, where do you use that? Well, that stuff you're gonna use on areas like this. Now you see how this is big and expanded, these big quarter-sized dollops right here? That is the self-leveling stuff. You see how this stuff basically held its shape? That is the non-sag stuff. That is the stuff that maintains its shape and it doesn't bleed everywhere. A little bit different chemical compound. At the end of the day though, they're both the same petroleum-based adhesive. They just kind of move a little bit different. So Areas like this at the edge of the coach, that's where you want to use the non-sag stuff. And on another video, I'm going to show you another area you can use that. But mostly on your roof, you're mostly going to use the self-leveling adhesive. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to get some of this stuff sent to your house, you can give us a call. I'll leave a link in the video description to have any of this stuff sent right to your house, straight from our online parts store. And with that, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.